The ruling coalition has rejected a call for the formation of a high-level committee to investigate the gold smuggling scam, despite pressure generated from the opposition and within a section of the Nepali Congress. Some experts have, however, feared that if such a commission lacked honest professionals, it could further derail the police investigation. The argument therefore only supports the notion that the said panel could serve the interest of the bigwigs by giving them a political cover. Good evening, I'm Sarah Sapsanama. Let's begin with the headlines of the hour. 31 houses swept away by floods in Kagbeni, Solanbheri threatened settlement in Dolpan's Dune, 400 houses in Saptari under threat of inundation. The weight of retrieved gold from brake shoes estimated to be around 60 kilograms. UML obstructs parliamentary proceedings. The Premier calls all-party meeting. 36 people feared dead at a jade mine in northern Myanmar after being swept into a lake by a huge landslide. And Nepal's squad for the upcoming Asia Cup announced. Nepal to play Asian giants India and Pakistan in group stage. The continuous rainy spell has affected general life across the country, with water level crossing danger mark in rivers including Saptakosi, Gandaki and Mahakali. Precautions have also been taken. Even as the water level slightly receded at Kosi Barrage, the security has been on high alert. In the face of continuous downpour, the flow of water in Saptakosi River was measured at 462,345 cubic per second this morning. The authorities have informed that this flow of water is the highest in the past 33 years. By evening earlier today, the flow had reduced to 357,000 cubic per second at Koshi Barrage. Even as the Koshi Barrage is reported to be out of danger zone, the 56 gates opened this morning have not been closed. In the meantime, some 400 households in Saptari's Hanuman Nagar, Kankalini municipality and Tilathi rural municipality are facing high risk from floods at Koshi River. Likewise, with the increased flow of water in Narayani River, the gates of Gandak Barrage on both sides have been opened. All the 36 gates of the barrage have been opened as the water level has neared danger mark. The water level at Narayani's Narayangad Bridge has also crossed the danger mark. The local level in East and West Nawalparasi have been alerted to keep vigil. All the gates of Mahakali's Sarada Barrage have also been opened, while plying of four-wheelers on the bridge of the barrage has been barred. Meanwhile, life in Babai is returning to normalcy as the water level here has receded. Earlier, at least 486 houses in Babai were inundated. The water flow in Karnali River has increased as it was flowing over 9.5 meters. Likewise, Karnali has started breaching land in Rajapur municipality's Dalai Ghat, where security bodies have been urged to remain in high alert. Meanwhile, local residents in Nuwakot have said that they are witnessing the biggest floods in Trishuli, Tadi, Likhu, Falakhu and Samari in the past 25 years. The Siddhartha Highway in Palpa has been disrupted by landslide, while BP Highway has remained obstructed since yesterday. Dolpa headquarter Dune is at high risk due to the flooded Thuli Bheri. With the flooded river crossing the danger mark, the local authority has urged people living nearby the Bheri River to remain at high alert. District Police Office has said that the settlement is quite near the Bheri River, which has put the people living in the vicinity at high risk. A wall was also constructed to save the settlement in Dune. However, with the continuous increase in water level, the local residents fear some damage to the wall as well. The flood water has also incurred massive destruction in Mustang's Kagbeni. The flooded Kagkola has swept away at least 31 houses cum hotels as the water entered the Kagbeni settlement. The flood water here also swept away a concrete bridge and a wooden bridge connecting Kagbeni with Lomangthang. After Kagbeni areas were flooded, the local residents were shifted to a safer location with the help of Nepal Army. In this context, in our Public Voice segment, today we've asked people in several provinces how have they found the government's rescue and relief operation for disaster-affected population. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Our 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 11 years, 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, 15 years, 16 years, 17 years, 18 years, 19 years, 20 years, 21 years, 22 years, 23 years, 24 years, 25 years, 26 years, 27 years, 28 years, 29 years, 30 years, 31 years, 32 years, 33 years, 34 years, 35 years, 36 years, 37 years, 38 years, 39 years, 40 years, 41 years, 42 years, 43 years, 44 years, 45 years, 46 years, 47 years, 48 years, 49 years, 50 years, 51 years, 52 years, 53 years, 54 years, 55 years, 56 years, 57 years, 58 years, 59 years, 60 years, 61 years, 62 years, 63 years, 64 ye केही सुरक्षाकर्मीहरू आउनुभयो, उहाँहरूले हेल्प गर्नु भएको छ र कुनै ठाउँहरुमा चाहिँ अब सुरक्षा दिइरहनु भएको छ, कुनै ठाउँमा चाहिँ सुरक्षाहरू छैन।
आएनन् कोही पनि सहयोग गर्न मलाई त। हामीलाई कसैले पनि यस्तो गर उस्तो गर ल भनेर भनेनन्। आफ्नो जीवको लागि बचाउन लागि हामी अब निस्किन पर्यो।
जतिखेर घटना घट्छ, घटना घटेपछि मात्रै रोइकराइ गर्दै तामझामका साथ हिँड्ने गरेको देखिन्छ।
विशेष कोष पनि छैन, कुनै राहतको कार्यक्रम पनि छैन, कुनै विशेष स्वास्थ्यको कार्यक्रम पनि छैन।
सरकारको कुरो मात्रै हो, काम केही भएन।
केही उ छैन। यो दुःख परेर चाहिँ आफ्नो घरमा आएर बसे, यहाँ स्कुलमा आएर बसेछ हामी।
गाँसबास छैन, तर सरकारले कति बेला सरकारको त्यो प्रक्रियाबाट आउने हो, कति महिनापछि पाउने हो, दसैँलाई रात बाँडेको जस्तो गरेर एकदमै ढिला भएको छ।
आफ्नै जुन थियो बचेको त्यही व्यवस्थापन चाहिँ गर्नुभएको छ, उसैले चाहिँ अहिले निर्वाह भइराखेको छ। अरू चाहिँ त्यसरी चाहिँ अरू अन्यबाट सहयोग भएको छैन।
गरेकै छ तर त्यति सन्तुष्टि चाहिँ देखिएन।
जहाँ जहाँ चाहिँ बाढी पीडित छ, जहाँ जहाँ चाहिँ विपद व्यवस्थापन छ, त्यहाँ पर्याप्त स्रोत साधन र आधुनिक किसिमका मिसन औजारहरू प्रयोग गरेको खण्डमा मात्र यो चाहिँ समस्या समाधान हुन्छ।
विपदको पूर्व तयारी नभइकन, प्लानिङहरू नभइकन जति बेला चाहिँ विपद पर्छ त्यति बेला तामझाम सहित फोटो खिच्नको लागि मात्रै केही लिएर जाने हुँदाखेरि त्यति सन्तुष्ट छैन।
के सन्तुष्ट हुनु, मान्छेलाई यहाँ अब तल माथि कति टाढा टाढाबाट हामी जानुपर्ने हुन्छ। विशेष कारणले कति बिरामीहरूमा एम्बुलेन्सहरू यस्तो एम्बुलेन्स भना अलपत्र परेका छन्।
विपदमा काम गर्ने भनेको तत्काल उद्धारका निम्ति हो। तत्काल छ कि छैन भन्दा तत्कालै छैन। केही समय होइन, ढिला सुस्ती छ।
7 जिल्ला पहाडी जिल्ला जोड्ने राजमार्ग आज हेर्नुहोस् भन्दाखेरि यो भन्दाखेरि 1 हप्ता भइसक्यो। अझ पनि एकतर्फी पनि सुचारू भएको छैन। दिनको 1 घण्टा 2 घण्टा त्यस्तै सुचारू भइरहेको छ।
Moving on, the session of the House of Representatives has been adjourned once again after obstructions by the main opposition, CPN-UML. The party has been firm with its demand for a high-level committee to probe into the 100-kilogram gold smuggling. The next session has been called for 20th of August, next Sunday. The main opposition has been alleging the government of high-handedness in the case and has demanded it pave way for the parliament session by forming the probe committee. The ruling coalition has rejected the call by the main opposition for the formation of a high-level committee to probe the gold smuggling case. A meeting of the top brass leaders held at the Prime Minister's official residence in Baluatar today concluded there was no need for the formation of such a probe committee demanded by CPN-UML. The meeting also discussed the directive given by Supreme Court to probe cabinet ministers mired in Lalita Niwas land scam. The ruling coalition discussed the issue as former Prime Ministers Madhav Kumar Nepal and Baburam Bhattarai are also going to be investigated. Likewise, the meeting also discussed ways to clear the obstructions seen at the House and debates surrounding the Gore massacre. The central bank has put the weight of the smuggled gold concealed in brake shoes at just over 61 kilograms. The central bank has also informed that the retrieved gold will still go through some process, following which the actual weight of the gold will be determined, which will take about a week's time. The confiscated gold from the capital Sinamangal had cleared the Tribhuvan International Airport customs on the night of July 19th. The central bank organized a press conference to inform about the preliminary weight of the gold. The total weight of the brake shoes was earlier put at just over 155 kilograms, with an estimated 100 kilograms of gold. It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
But before today's question, let's take a look at the results from yesterday's poll. Yesterday, we asked you what could be the reason for the Prime Minister's employment program not gaining desired results. 23% voted for option A, misuse of budget, 19% for B, lack of long-term planning, and 58% for C, ploy to feed cadres. And here's today's question. What could be the reason for the practice of saving party leaders mired in controversy? Your options are A, ethical bankruptcy, B, ignoring good governance, and C, saving kith and kin. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Welcome back. It's time now for the international update. At least 36 people are feared dead at a jade mine in northern Myanmar after being swept into a lake by a huge landslide. The accident happened yesterday in the remote town of Hapakant, the center of Myanmar's secretive jade industry, where scavengers risk their lives picking through unstable earth and rubble excavated by mining companies searching for small pieces of the semi-precious stone. More than 100 rescue workers were looking for survivors, a member of the rescue team said by phone, declining to be identified due to safety reasons. 8 people were injured and taken to hospital following the incident. Anwar ul Haq Kakar, a little-known politician who is believed to be close to the military, was sworn in as Pakistan's caretaker Prime Minister today. He will oversee national elections as the country navigates political and economic crisis. Kakar, from the southwestern province of Balochistan, will name a cabinet and head a government until a new administration is elected. He was sworn in by President Arif Alvi in a ceremony at the presidency. He resigned as a member of Senate and from his party on Sunday. He was part of the Balochistan Awami Party, which is widely considered to be close to the country's powerful military. Under Pakistan's constitution, a neutral caretaker government oversees national elections, which must be held within 90 days of the dissolution of the parliament's lower house, which in this case means early November. The death toll from Maui wildfires in the U.S. state of Hawaii has risen to 96. So far, only 2 of the dead have been identified. The fatal wildfires, which broke out on Tuesday, have also damaged more than 2,200 structures on the island, mostly residents' homes, leaving thousands homeless. A CNN report said that the local government did not pay enough attention to the fire threat, and the lack of pre-planning was one of the main reasons for the serious consequences of the fire. After the disaster, the response of the local fire department was also questioned by the public and news media. The fire-stricken area of Lahaina is still being sealed and cleaned up. Witnesses said that some local people with guns tried to enter the burned buildings to find valuables, which caused some confusion and affected the cleanup work. According to U.S. media reports, some local people believe that the power company did not cut off the power supply in time when the hurricane arrived, which led to the fire after strong wind blew down wire poles. At present, the firefighting work in Maui continues, but the weather forecast shows that the county will be hit by strong winds again, and the firefighting work is facing severe tests. Russian President Vladimir Putin's economic advisor rebuked the central bank as the ruble slid past 101 per US dollar, blaming its 30% year-to-date slump on loose monetary policy and revealing growing discord among Russia's monetary authorities. The ruble, which has lost around a quarter of its value against the dollar since Putin sent troops into Ukraine in February 2022, hit 101.04 per US dollar, its weakest point in almost 17 months. As the ruble tumbled, Putin's economic advisor Maxim Oreshkin said in an op-ed for the TASS news agency that the Kremlin wanted a strong ruble and expected a normalization shortly, an intervention that could spur the central bank into action ahead of its next scheduled interest rate decision on 15th of September. The ruble has charted a turbulent course since Russia invaded Ukraine, slumping to a record low of 120 against the dollar in March last year, before recovering to a more than 7-year high a few months later, supported by capital controls and surging export revenues. Before the war, the ruble traded at around 75 to the dollar. Welcome back. It's time now for the sports update.
Sports news.
Nepal's squad for the Asia Cup that takes on Asian giants India and Pakistan has been announced. Chief coach Monty Desai today announced a 17-member squad led by skipper Rohit Paudel. The team has excluded 3 players, Surya Tamang, Pawan Sharaf and Dev Khanal, who had taken part in the recently held Emerging Nations Cup. Arif Sheikh, Sandeep Lamichhane and Dipender Singh Airi have returned to the squad. Arif had skipped the tournament for a personal reason, while Sandeep and Dipender had taken part in the Global T20 in Canada. The team also has Kushal Malla, Lalit Rajbansi, Bhim Sarki, Karan Kesi and Gulshan Jha. Likewise, Sompal Kami, Pratish GC, Kishore Mahato, Sandeep Jora and Shyam Dhakal are the other members of the team. Nepal are in Group A alongside heavyweights India and Pakistan. Group B has Bangladesh, Afghanistan and Sri Lanka. Asia Cup kicks off from 30th of August in Sri Lanka. Nepal take on Pakistan in the inaugural day of the championship. Team Nepal will spend 1 week in Pakistan ahead of the tournament to undergo some practice session. That is all for the moment. Up next is news in Nepali. Do stay with us.